lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to join the community debate, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate forum. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they're live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you would like to join the discussion right now, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcomed back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Quantum Eraser, Zinda, Slick James Johnson, Ranty Flat Earth, Physics Warrior, Paul, Joseph, Flatten Earth, Carlos and Chocolate saying, good to have you one and all.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Buenos dias.
Nice to be here, Nathan.
So in the pre-show, we were talking to Joseph, and Joseph basically disclaimed that he wasn't quite expecting to come in and actually be challenged. He thought it would just be a bit of a laugh, which is wonderful. That's good news for us.
Not a bit of a laugh. I just thought it was casual, is what I said. I thought it was just a casual conversation.
Joseph, real quick, just a question. Which Discord did you come in from?
Oh, that's classified. I'm not going to say that live. Right?
Okay.
If you want to PM me, I'll tell you. Yeah.
That's fine.
Just PM him and then tell us.
Come on, don't do that.
Nah, you're good. You're good.
No, it doesn't really matter.
It's a friendly Discord. It's not. It's a flat Earth Discord though. But
yeah, I figured. I'm just asking. So I'm pretty sure I know, but it's all right.
Yeah,
the Globusters.
I'm not going to confirm or deny anything, but it's a good group of people. Like we have fun, we chit chat, whatever. I know Chemo from there.
So you're fairly. Well, you're not new to this. You're not a newbie.
Me?
Yeah. You don't strike me as a newbie.
Oh, far from it, man. No. I just didn't realize. Like, I'm being honest. Like right now, I'm no joking around. I didn't realize that this was this. I just honestly thought that it was like, some flat Earth people and some globe Earth people and coming together and just having like the casual debates that go on. I didn't realize it's not about a matter of being challenged, but it's just a matter of like the seriousness that you guys take it with. That threw me off guard. So I apologize.
Where did you witness these casual debates between flat earthers and globetards?
Well, you see, like you characterize it like that, like it doesn't add anything. But
I've been in this for 3 years, and I can't remember a single casual debate.
Well, I've sit around. You sit around with your friends, stuff like that. Like I have a few friends who believe that the Earth is flat. When we sit around, we chit chat about it. It doesn't get like this.
I'm offended by the word
talking about this
globe
out here where you came into this genre right here. We're not talking about sitting at home with your friends. We're talking about.
Are you guys not friends?
That's a false equivalence, right? We're talking about out here in internet land.
But are you not friends with the people on the panel?
Yeah, but they're not my buddies, down the street. We're talking about the debate between the flat earthers and the globetards here on the internet circuit.
Well, yeah, I'm not new to that either. I've been around the flat Earth debates have been going on since like 2008, right? So yeah,
2008 maybe, I don't know. I
know. I've been around. I'm around the bend, man. I'm a millennial dog. I'm the age of the internet. So
and
all that stuff.
Dog.
Okay, so
I'm sorry, my slang terminology bothered you. Well, let me talk like this for you, sir, and make sure I make you feel comfortable. I don't want to make
sure your heels are together.
So in your past experience, it's just been casual chats with your friends about this subject, and a couple of them are flat earthers. So in that regard? Is it not?
Oh, and the internet. I'm on the internet too.
Okay, fair enough. So,
Yeah.
do you understand why we take it seriously, or is that still,
like, okay, the reasons could vary from person to person, I think, but I think as a group, I don't even know if you guys are like one cohesive group, because there's a lot of different
cohesive,
like all of one mind in terms of the belief, right? I think that
Definitely
there's
not.
even still a bit of disagreement.
There isn't a belief, and there isn't a group. So you got both wrong. Can you start over?
Okay. Well, the people who believe the Earth is flat, let's say that, right?
Not a
I'm not
belief.
one of those.
It's
I'm
not a
not one of
belief.
those. I know the Earth is flat, non-spinning dome, geocentric.
Yeah. Well, dude, don't quibble with what I'm. Just let me say what I'm saying, man. Okay, look. So people who know the Earth is flat, right? Okay, I'll go with that. If that makes you feel better, right? So people who know the Earth is flat, right? I find that even still, they kind of don't all agree on the model and all that sort of thing. So
We don't have a model. For crying out loud, and it's not an agreed
using the word
genre
model
either.
in a scientific way, not in a.
There is no science to models. They're pseudoscience. Do we have to go through this like we did with
No, I mean like
astrophysics?
like in a diorama way. Like if you had to show somebody what it looks like, you would make a model or a diorama,
No, you wouldn't.
right?
No, you just show them. If I have to show someone what a chair looks like, I can just produce a chair and show them. I don't go into a computer and simulate one with a model. Models are pseudoscience. We don't live on a model.
No, you can build a diorama. A diorama.
Do we live on a diorama? Do we live on a diorama?
No. But if I wanted to show you the concept of something, right, I would have to build something to scale so you could see it. But anyways, the point I'm trying to make is why I think you guys take it so seriously. Like I said before, is it varies from person to person. But I think maybe the one thing is it's like the global lie, right? I think that's the one thing that I think anyone can converge on that. If everyone knew they're being lied to, right? I think that's the one thing that if I were to guess, I could be wrong. You can correct me, but I think it would be the whole big lie about it. Would that be a fair assessment?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're killing the globe though. That's the other thing.
He asked me why I thought you guys take it very seriously, and I think
the thing is we've been doing this debate now for a year and a half on different channels, but essentially it's the same flat Earth debate. And it used to be that it was mainly globers that came in, one or two flat earthers. If you check the panel out now, you'll see it's mainly flat earthers, and there's a reason for that. It's because every single argument that the globers brought to the table has been demolished by the people on this panel. Every single argument.
Can I try the one that I was going to start with?
Yes,
when I
that'd be
first came
great.
in?
Go ahead.
Okay, so I imagine that a lot of you watched that documentary that came out on Netflix.
Yep.
So I want to have a discussion about the gyroscope experiment.
Not
Is
an
that
experiment.
okay? I'm sorry?
Not an experiment.
Well, the flat Earth guy did it.
Sorry.
So
repeat after me. It is not an experiment.
what is it?
You tell me.
Well, I called it an experiment. You're saying it's not. So then what is it?
The whole entire last show was figuring out for you what an experiment was. So an experiment is a hypothesis test. It elucidates.
Yeah. Okay, so then I won't call
no. I was sighing because you interrupted me. Yeah.
No, I won't call it an
Don't
experiment.
interrupt. Just listen. Yeah.
Well,
this is why I call you ignorant. So you have said we've got a gyroscope experiment. I have interrupted and said no, it's not an experiment. Now you've asked why isn't it an experiment? And I'm trying or attempting with interruptions to tell you why it's not an experiment. I started by saying the entire last show was us trying to educate you on what an experiment is. Do you remember us explaining what you vary and manipulate to establish the cause of an effect? Do you remember that conversation?
Yeah, then it's not an experiment. The thing that the guy did in the documentary, do you guys remember that with the gyroscope?
How
Yes.
could we forget?
Yes, definitely.
So what it measured was that in an hour's time, right, the Earth at least moves at a point of 15 degrees. Right? Would that be accurate? Do you guys remember that?
You said the Earth moved.
Hold on. You tell
Yeah.
us what you think has been demonstrated.
Well, I'm gonna get to that. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page first.
Well, okay, at this stage then, no, we are not on the same page. Let me just clarify what you have asserted. I'll expand a little, so give me a little leverage. What you are saying is the gyroscope, which rotates in a fixed frame of reference, demonstrates that the Earth rotates underneath to a tune of 15 degrees an hour. Would that be a correct summary of your assertion?
That's what the results produced, yes.
Okay. The results did not produce that.
What did the results produce?
So that's where we're at an impasse. So at this stage, that's why I asked you to clarify what you were asserting. So if you disagree, perhaps you would like to enlighten us on how you feel that demonstration showed the Earth rotating underneath the fixed frame of the gyro at 15 degrees an hour, and we'll go from there.
Oh, I wouldn't think that right away, but what I would think that it shows is that something's moving. So then we'd have to figure out what's moving. Is the sky moving? Are the stars moving? Or is the object that we're on moving?
So you just changed your position from asserting that it was the Earth moving.
I'm not. I'm just
From the you definitively said it was proving that the Earth moved, and now, as you quite rightly say, is that it could also be the lights in the sky that are moving, and the plane itself is very stationary and motionless.
That's possible, but that's not what the truth is, right? But
that's an assertion.
Yeah, I 100% agree that it's an assertion. I'm not.
What's the truth?
But so
that's what I was about to ask. Sorry, John. So yeah, that was what I was going to ask. So I'm happy to again give you a bit of leeway. You know, just tell us what you think the truth is.
So I believe that the thing that the guy did in the documentary was a demonstration that the Earth spins.
That's belief. You said you believe.
Yeah.
Can you prove it?
Hold on, Randy. Hold on. Just tell us. So tell us, first of all, do you understand how the demonstration shows that?
Yes.
Tell us how.
So it's measuring the movement of the stationary object, which presumably would be the Earth, right? So
no, sorry.
Sorry,
stop. You've just said it's showing that the Earth is stationary. So I appreciate that might just be a slip of the tongue, but do you want to start again, not by stating that it's proving the Earth is stationary, because that's contrary to your argument. I shouldn't really be helping you out, but I know who I'm dealing with. So do you actually mean that it's demonstrating that the Earth is stationary, or do you want to start again?
Well, the Earth is in a fixed position. It's on an axis. That's the same thing.
All right, so you're proving that we are fixed, stationary, on an axis. That's what you're trying to claim, is it?
Yeah. I'll give you an example, right? I'm in a fixed position in my chair, right? But my chair has wheels and it can move around. But I can stay in a fixed position while the chair moves around. And let's say someone's pulling me by a rope.
Oh my God.
Yes, okay. I've heard enough. I've heard enough.
Can I just say, this hole is getting very deep, and you're digging it yourself. It's going to be so funny in a minute.
It's all right. It's no problem. So, if you like, I'll explain to you the assertion from the globe side in regards to the gyroscope. If you want me to.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Okay. So the gyroscope has a fixed frame of reference. In other words, it spins and it is unaffected by moving it. So if you see a deviation in the gyroscope, it would be a demonstration, according to your side, that the Earth rotates under the fixed frame of the gyroscope. If you don't understand, I'm happy to expand on that.
No, I do get it. I just misspoke on what I was trying to say, because I'm just rushing through this, right? I'm just trying to establish the certain points of the thing that the guy did. I know we're not using the word experiment.
No problem. So it's a demonstration of something known as the Coriolis effect.
Right.
The frame of reference that the gyroscope is in stays static or stays in one fixed frame. And then the demonstration that something is moving at 15 degrees an hour is the assertion that the Earth rotates under the fixed frame of the gyro. So we're all on the same page about how it proves the Earth spins according to who is asserting it.
Well, I would say that the equipment would be the ultimate arbiter of that because it's doing the measurement. We just interpret the data.
Yeah, what's it measuring? So I don't mind explaining it a third time because it seems like you don't understand what precisely it's measuring.
Presumably the Earth's spin.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
And do you know how? It's
I don't know the nitty-gritty details on it.
No worries.
I'm not a scientist.
No worries. So if you have a bicycle wheel and you spin the bicycle wheel on the end of your finger, it will spin and stay horizontal. And then if you tip your finger, around, so you move your finger around in a circle, the gyroscopic motion of the wheel will not deviate even though you rotate underneath that spinning wheel. Now, if you were to be a cage, in other words, you were holding onto the gyro and you were, like the Earth is claimed to, spin, then the gyroscope stays in its fixed frame and the Earth rotates underneath the frame of the spinning gyroscope. Does that now make sense?
No, it does make sense because the gyroscope primarily also has to establish orientation.
Yeah,
right.
The
Orientation is important when you're trying to figure out where something is in terms of placement, right?
Yeah, so the gyro stays in a fixed reference, and the 15 degrees that they measure is claimed to be the rotation of the Earth under the fixed frame of the gyroscope. Is that clear?
Well, yeah. That's the
okay. So the problem being, if the Earth rotates under the fixed frame of the gyroscope, then it also rotates underneath helicopters, balls that you throw through the air, aeroplanes, and anything else that is in the same frame of reference as the gyroscope. So if the Earth rotates under the gyro, it must also rotate underneath aeroplanes. The problem being that it doesn't.
I'm trying to understand what the problem is.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh man. Hey bro, what's my Yeah. What's my month?
Right,
what the heck is going on?
Yeah, what's going
Go
on?
on mute.
The only person not on mute is the guy we're supposed to be having a conversation with.
I'm sorry?
He's just wasting our time.
Yeah, it seems that way.
No, I heard there's people talking and stuff. I heard a bunch of people just talking.
That was Zender. That was Zender doing that.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know what happened, so I just went quiet.
Yeah, we'll get back on track. So, if it's asserted that the gyroscopic motion in its fixed frame displays a 15-degree deviation because the Earth rotates underneath, then the Earth rotates underneath and would also rotate underneath anything in that second reference frame, i.e. the frame that the gyroscope is in and showing a fixed frame of reference. Well, that would mean that we do definitely have, as demonstrated by the gyro, a Coriolis effect. And if it rotates underneath the gyro, it also rotates the Earth, that is, underneath an aeroplane. But we don't observe that ever happening. We don't have vastly shortened airtime with the Earth rotating underneath, bringing the continent you are travelling to towards you at a rapid pace as you travel through the air. That never happens. We don't have a Coriolis effect.
I'm not sure. So you're saying What? So you're saying that because I'm not understanding the objection, seriously.
No problem. The way the gyroscope demonstrates that the Earth rotates is by it rotating underneath the fixed frame of the gyro. And if it rotates underneath the fixed frame of the gyro, then the Earth also rotates underneath aeroplanes.
No.
Yeah.
No, because the gyro is using lasers.
No.
Yeah, and?
So the lasers are what are doing the measuring, not the object.
Yeah, the lasers... Sorry, I'll try and explain to you. The lasers, as you put it, give you the fixed frame of reference to demonstrate the 15-degree deviation, which is claimed to be the Earth rotating underneath.
Yes.
Yeah, well, if the Earth rotates underneath the gyroscope, then the Earth rotates underneath the aeroplanes.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No.
That's not how that works.
Yeah, that's called the Coriolis effect.
But airplanes aren't affected by the Coriolis
No
effect.
shit.
Okay, so what are you trying to say? But people on ground level are. For
So
some
if
reason,
you can
right?
show a deviation of the Earth rotating underneath the gyro, then it must also rotate underneath the planes. But it doesn't. So if you're to assert that we're seeing a Coriolis effect demonstrated in the gyroscope, that being the Earth rotating underneath, then it must rotate underneath an aeroplane, but doesn't, as you so rightly point out. Okay?
Regardless of what you're saying, right? Even though I'm going to tackle that, the first point I'm going to make is that regardless of what you're saying, the Earth is rotating, right? So,
No.
Sorry, I just want to point out either to you or if you keep talking, it'll just be the audience. That's known as a fundamentalist assertion. So, Fundy, have you got anything other than a gyroscope demonstrating that the Earth rotates underneath planes? Oh my bad, it doesn't. Or do you just have your fundamentalist belief in this?
Well, there are several ways to show the Earth rotating, but just to finish this one, right? So the Earth is a whole, right? It's got an atmosphere, stratosphere, all of that stuff. It operates as one mechanism, right? So when you're on the Earth and you're traveling through the Earth and you're traveling through the air and you're doing all that sort of thing, 15 degrees per hour is almost unnoticeable. It obviously is, because we've been sitting here for a couple of hours and no one's noticed that the Earth is spun.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Right? But as I'm traveling through, like riding my bike or flying an airplane or something like that, I'm not playing a tug of war game with the speed of rotation because I'm traveling within that space.
Oh, I see.
So
sorry,
saying,
my bad.
You're
sorry.
saying that the atmosphere
Hold on,
and the
John.
Earth
Sorry.
are one system?
Sorry, I see what you're saying. What you're saying is because the atmosphere travels with the Earth, we don't see that effect.
No, that's an oversimplification, right? So an example would be you're in an airplane. An airplane's going 300 miles per hour, but you can walk up and down throughout the airplane and virtually not feel that speed because you're a part of the vessel that's moving. You're not on the outside of it.
You're in a closed system, but your Earth is an open
about
system.
speed. We're talking about
That has nothing to do with an open or closed system, right? That just has to do with momentum and speed.
No, you're in a closed system or nearly a closed system in the airplane.
Sorry, just
Planes,
bear with me. I
trains,
just
and
need to get
automobiles.
clarity. Sorry, John. So are you saying that we don't see the Earth rotating underneath aeroplanes?
Not underneath airplanes. The Earth is rotating and we rotate with it.
Oh, well, that would be a defiance of the demonstration of Coriolis that is alleged to be established by the gyroscope. Oh dear, it would seem that the gyroscope doesn't demonstrate Earth rotating underneath, because according to you, the Earth doesn't rotate underneath. The atmosphere and the Earth rotate as one, which would mean there is no Coriolis effect, precisely what is alleged to be demonstrated by the gyro. Do you now see the problem and contradiction, Joseph?
That's not what that says, because I don't know why you keep saying underneath. It's just the gyroscope is just the tool that's used. It's not that it's rotating underneath the gyroscope. It's
so what's the 15 degrees then?
So
what's the 15 degrees that it's showing then, Joseph? What's that 15 degrees exactly?
It's the amount of degrees that the Earth has moved within an hour.
Underneath the frame of the gyro? Yes, Joseph, that's right. It's alleged to show the Earth rotate underneath. Unfortunately, Joseph, we don't see that happening in the aeroplanes, so it can't possibly be showing the Earth rotate underneath if you're to assert that we don't have a Coriolis effect because the Earth and atmosphere are as one reference frame. Well, the gyro is a demonstration of two reference frames. I'll say it again. One reference frame with the gyroscope spinning in its own plane and the Earth rotating underneath at 15 degrees an hour.
Beautiful performance. Absolutely beautiful. Bye-bye, Joseph, and bye-bye ball card spinning space monkey religion. Thank you very much.
I'm a Taoist, bro. I'm not a part of no ball monkey space religion. What kind of racist shit are you talking about, man?
Oh, really?
Why is it gotta be race?
You said monkey.
Every time.
You said monkey.
Well, yeah.
So what?
Couple of questions. So
enough with the race card, man.
Calm down. I'm just joking.
Get over it.
Take it easy.
What do you think the sky is?
No.
What do you think the sky is, Joseph? What do you assume the sky to be?
I'm sorry?
What do you think the sky is?
What do I think it is? The sky.
It's racist.
Like, what do I think it's made of? Is what you're asking me? Or?
I'm saying that, do you believe the sky is a vacuum?
Oh, that doesn't sound right.
No, it doesn't, does it? I like that phraseology a lot.
It doesn't.
How do you have a gas pressure without a container, son?
I'm sorry?
Do you think we've got a vacuum in the sky that little men in suits travel to, otherwise known as outer space? A vacuum. Do you think the sky is a vacuum?
Sorry. I misunderstood you.
Yeah, well, let me repeat it. Do you think the sky is a vacuum?
Well, if you're asking me if I believe in outer space, I would have to answer yes.
So you think the sky is a vacuum? Why do we have gas here then? How come I'm still breathing? Why isn't the gas that's going in and out of my lungs not dispersing into the infinite, never-ending and expanding vacuum? Why can I breathe if the sky is a vacuum? The gas would go into that vacuum, and it's not. So that's nonsense. Another fundy belief. That's why we've called you a religitard with a space monkey religion. Because to assume that the sky is a vacuum is absolutely ludicrous. We'd all be dead. The vacuum would take away the air we're breathing, Joseph. What kind of idiocy is this?
Yeah, I've heard this one come up. It's relatively new for me. I don't know enough information on it to address it.
Oh, right. I'll
what
just
if there
tell
was
you.
an external force keeping the air down?
I'll just tell you then. The sky isn't a vacuum, Joseph.
Well, you're not going to convince me like this, right? It's not. That's not how it's going to work.
I don't care.
Well, instead of laughing, why don't you listen? Why don't you listen to the point so maybe you can try to understand it?
Because I don't know enough about the gas.
So then that's what I'm telling you. Why don't you listen to the point where he's...
I want to research myself.
Instead, you just want to laugh.
Then
what are you going to research?
Go research and come back.
What are you going to research? What are you going to research exactly?
Right. The way I like to operate personally is I look into something first myself before I go and take influences from other people. Right. And then I'll come.
So why didn't you look into it before you showed up here then?
Because I didn't think it would be brought up here. Right. It's a relatively new.
This is a flat earth debate. That's the one thing that kills your spinning ball religion.
It's kind of
understand that?
It's kind of a new argument being brought up in the flat earth. So I haven't.
I've been saying this for 3 years.
the gas containment within the atmosphere. That's kind of new.
That's not new. I've been saying it for 3 years now.
Maybe I've been out of the loop for a few years, but
yep, you've been out of the loop.
Yep.
Shout out to Awaken Truth and Life is Short for hitting the super chat. Really appreciate your support. Thank you very much indeed.
I don't know enough about it. I can't comment, right? But if you want to try to tell me some stuff, but I'm all ears. Yeah.
Excellent. We're all back on track then. The sky is not a vacuum. It can't possibly be a vacuum because the gas would fill the space.
That's the argument.
Well, that's the argument. Well, then that's I have to go from there, right? So the gas can't. So if the sky was a vacuum, right? So within that statement, we're assuming that there's no atmosphere to the Earth. There's no topping to it. It would just be an open space into space. So I would have to go and look into that, and then look into how gas is contained within atmospheres, and look into that, right? So so that's all I can go on, really.
Oh, no,
I guarantee you, when you go away and look at this, you're going to come back with a specific word to prove your belief, but it's not going to work.
A specific word?
I know what it is.
I don't know.
I know what it is. Can I say it?
No, I want Chocolate to say it. Chocolate.
Gravity. Okay. Go ahead, Vanilla.
Damn it, physics.
Go on, Chocolate.
Gravity. The magic bad word in the flat Earth community.
It'd be a cool word if you could prove it.
Hey, I think that gravity is a weird one myself, because there's no real. It's just like this thing that happens and we don't know why, and it's weird.
No,
I can't
you
explain
don't know
that.
why. We know why.
Yeah,
Relative density.
I don't know.
Yeah, we know you don't know.
Like, if outer space isn't real, then I can like that, but.
Yeah, but why are you still talking? Yeah, you don't know. I just said the two words that explain it. Relative density. That explains what you have a fundamentalist belief in. We also know how you have this fundamentalist belief. We discussed it only yesterday with Zinda.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah, you guys were getting my hopes up. I thought as soon as he said gravity, then this guy would say, well, there is scientific evidence of gravity. And I had the party hats out and everything, and now you ruined it.
Well, no, because I'm not a dishonest person, right? If I don't know something, I'm going to say I don't know.
Oh, do you know what the scientific method is?
Come on, man. I read the definition like 1,000 times.
So tell me what it is.
I'm pretty sure I can recite it now by memory.
Go on then.
No, that was a joke.
Yeah, I know. What you told us about the scientific method was a joke. Absolutely correct.
No, but I mean, what I just said was, never mind.
Yeah, what you said was, I wouldn't be declaring things unless I knew what they were and researched them. I listened. But we had a demonstration on the last show of the complete converse of that, which is you making declarations about something you had absolutely no idea about, which would be the scientific method.
Well, I've read the definition several times. I think if it's true that I didn't understand it before, I at least understand it now because I've read the definition like 1,000
excellent.
times.
Excellent, because that's all it takes is to read the definition. So explain the process.
No
worries. You've just told us that you've read the definition a few times and now you understand what the scientific method is. So tell us what the scientific method is. With your understanding, your new acquired understanding, having read the definition today.
Well, I've always understood it. I was saying if it's true in a hypothetical world, right?
That's great. That's just what I need to hear. Now tell us what it is.
It's a method that we use to discover the natural world.
What is the method? What is it?
Like, do you want to know like what we use in the method to do that?
Yeah, what is the method? The scientific method.
It typically starts with a hypothesis.
No, it doesn't. That's wrong. Do you want to try again?
It typically starts with a hypothesis.
No.
If you're testing the natural world, right, you're dealing in empirical claims. So empiricism would be the
if it was already an empirical claim, then you wouldn't need to do anything. No, you don't start with hypothesis. So we're already well into us establishing that you will declare things you haven't got the vaguest clue about. You've also just declared that having read the definition of the scientific method a few times, you understand it. And then your first gambit is to tell us you start by formulating a prediction. Well, what's your prediction for exactly?
Well, it would have to be based on an observation. I never said prediction.
So hypothesis doesn't come first then? Observation of what?
Observation is a given.
Because observation of what?
Of anything.
No, that's not step one in the scientific method. Wrong again. Seems you don't understand it, having just read the definition off Wiki a few times. So you don't understand this. Why would you declare that you understand it, having read it a couple of times, when clearly you haven't got the vaguest idea what you're talking about?
I think you're harping on the wrong point here, right?
No, the point is you haven't got a clue what you're talking about. Not the slightest idea. Typical millennial who thinks he knows everything. But when exposed as the pretender muppet he is, he starts talking non-stop, telling us that he's understood because he's read it off Wiki. How outrageous. Typical millennial bonehead.
You didn't know I was a millennial until
you told us you were a millennial. You told us. Excuse me, you stupid retard. You told us that you were a millennial. Unlike you, I have the ability to actually listen to what's being said. So I know you're a millennial, unless you're a liar and you're now going to claim that you're not a millennial. You've told us that.
No, what I'm saying is that now you're using it as an attack, as if that's the explanation for why this guy's this way. You didn't know I was a millennial until I told you I was a millennial. So I think to add that to the insult.
You still think you're all the same.
Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't tarnish all millennials with the stupidity level of you as an individual, Joseph. You're right. I take that back. It's not an aspersion on all of millennials. Only you complete and utter fool. Just you. You are stupid. Not millennials. Just you.
Me alone, man.
Yeah, you. Singular. You, a retard. As demonstrated in the last hour and a half of nonsense that you've spewed, and the last 5 minutes where I've demonstrated that you haven't got the vaguest clue what the scientific method is. Thank you.
So we start with an observation, and then we come up with a hypothesis.
No, we don't.
Which is an educated guess.
Deaf?
And then
we do not.
And then we go from there with experimentation and
no
sort of, and then as we experiment.
Why aren't you stopping? Why are you still blathering with the incorrect information?
Make me wrong.
Is this the behaviour of a retard? I've said no. Stop. You are incorrect.
What is your justification for stopping me?
Yeah, because you're wrong.
Well, that's not a justification. You have to let me finish and then tell me where I'm wrong, right?
Yeah,
let me
I'm
finish
stopping
first.
you because I don't want to poison the ears of my audience with your nonsense any further.
That's Orwellian.
So stop talking.
Listen, if you're wrong, we only have an hour show. We can't listen to you being wrong for 5 minutes. Nathan has to stop you to tell you where you're going wrong.
This is very Orwellian, just saying.
No, just you being wrong and not being willing to shut your mouth so I can point out how wrong you are. You do not start by making an observation. Yeah? You don't look at a tree and then do science. What are you formulating the science for? What's the prediction for if you're looking at something that's just doing nothing? Yeah?
Well, you figure that out.
So I haven't finished. So you don't start with observation. You're just wrong.
Oh. Well, you can't help but observe things. You have eyes, so you do that first regardless, whether you like it or not.
What, for the scientific method?
No.
That's
the question.
You're wrong. And why is it that you're doubling down on this? Why is it that you're doubling down?
Because I'm right. 100%. Unless you're a blind person and you can't see and you have to figure out another way to observe things.
What are you observing? Sorry, you're going to form it.
I've been really patient on the side here, but if you guys would have listened to me about an hour ago, I told you the conversation was over, but you want to keep on continuing it. It's been over, but now you're just rehashing the same thing over, going in circles. It's done.
I agree, Slick, but Nathan's policy is not to kick. So unless he's
I didn't say kick. Listen, I didn't say
rude,
kick. I said the conversation was over an hour ago. He didn't have to kick him, but you have to start a new conversation. You got a whole panel of people. They probably got other opinions, other ideas, but you're just spinning your wheels round and round on a point that ain't going nowhere. Why do that?
You did say somebody kicked this guy an hour ago.
I know what I said an hour ago, but I'm not talking about that now. Okay, so he decided not to kick him, so you still got to start another conversation, even if he stays on the panel. You don't just keep the same conversation going over and over again. That's just redundant.
Well, he's never going to concede, is he? So the problem is with that Slick is in 5 minutes' time when we start on a new conversation, he'll start asserting what he thinks science is and saying that we can make
Nathan,
an observation.
Why start another conversation with him? There's other people on the panel that can talk.
This is the only Glober.
No, let me give an input. First of all, I discovered scientifically that when you leave the forest, you get a better internet connection. Form that in an hypothesis, please, everyone. Perfect.
Sorry.
I got an internet connection now, and now I'm available.
So your internet connection is natural phenomena?
No, it's not.
Yes.
Right.
No. Okay. Let's. I just heard my name like 15 minutes ago, like just like in a robot voice because I had a bad internet connection. So, I wanted to mention that even though I think for me the show is a little bit satirical, I can learn a lot from it, right? For example, I learned that we live in a container, right? And now with that knowledge, I see the world around me completely different. Let me show you something, guys. All right.
Hold on, just say a quick hello. Yeah. Hold on, just 1 second, Cinder. Hey Tim, how you doing?
Morning, Allah Akbar to you.
Right.
Hello. Go ahead. What are you showing us? Let's have a look.
Here we have a tree, right? Maybe you will ask me, Cinder, why are you showing us a tree? And I say, no, guys, that's not a normal tree. That's a tree in a container, all right? So think about it. Like all the world around you is in a container. I mean, figure out what does it mean for us? What does it mean for humanity, right? I mean, it is astonishing, don't you think so too, guys? I mean, you guys have figured it out. And now what are you going to do with that knowledge? It's a question. Right now, you are doing a great job. You are presenting to everyone that we live in a container, but we can get advantages from it, right? We can make the world a better place with that knowledge. Don't you agree?
Wouldn't the pressure equalize those Ender in a container, according to them? Just wondering.
Where'd you get gas pressure?
No, because you know we have a pressure gradient,
gas
right?
pressure before you got a gas pressure gradient. So gas pressure.
Is that a semantical argument?
What comes first? Gas pressure
or
gas pressure gradients?
Let me answer him. We have a pressure gradient. We live in a container. Therefore, we have a pressure gradient, right? So that's so simple. And everyone like, you don't need a container, but dude, let me say that. If you think of the world, if you think about the world that we live in a container, your whole life will change. Right?
Yeah, we already heard you the first time. We don't need to hear it again. Thank you.
Okay. And another thing. Like, you know, you could say the Earth contains us humans, and I think the elite.
The Earth isn't a container.
No, let me finish. The elite, right? The elite, they knew that all along, so they presented the world containing that we are contained by the Earth. So that those
Earth isn't a container. You don't define a container.
Okay.
So what is the argument all about? Why do you guys say that gas pressure needs a container? Why would you say that?
Because it does.
Why would you say that? Is that purely from a definitional standpoint, or is that from like an observation or an experiment?
It's like from the second law of thermodynamics, Timmy.
Okay, so I guess, again, so we live in a contained atmosphere. How come it isn't equal? Why is there a pressure gradient?
So you've already reckoned with that there must be a container to have gas pressure. Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't go off that silly thing because that's just a definitional.
The silly thing? How's it silly?
Argument.
How's it silly?
Because according to entropy, we would expect
entropy,
not a pressure gradient.
Hold on, Tim and
wouldn't we?
Hold on, Tim and John. Right, just let each other get to the end of each statement, please.
Go ahead, Timmy.
Yeah. So again, I'm asking actually the question: who says that pressure needs a containment or a container?
Who says it?
Yeah, I mean, I know you guys do, but like, by what authority do you go around and say that there needs to be a pressure?
Can I buy gas pressure for my container? Can I buy gas pressure for my car so I can turn the wheels on it without a container, or do I need a container to put the gas in?
That's a really, really silly place to go. Maybe John can
silly. Why don't you give him a reasoned argument instead of your just one-word dismissals, right?
No,
How do you have a gas pressure
actual
without
question,
a container?
John, I'll state it again. The actual question was, by what authority? Who is saying that there needs to be a container here? So I'll go ahead and ask you, John. By what authority do you go around and say this?
By second-grade authority, that to have a gas pressure like a tire pressure, you need the frigging tire.
Hold on, just let him answer, Tim.
Yeah, see, by second-grade coherent authority, that to have a tire pressure that is a gas pressure, you actually have to have the tire, right? That's my authority.
That is a consistent 40 psi or 50 psi, whatever you put into your tire, right?
We're talking about gas pressure.
Hold on, John. Sorry, Tim.
What we live in is a pressure gradient, John. So the question again is, where are you getting this information that we must have containment for gas pressure? Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. And like I said before, you invoked gas pressure gradients.
So you're not going to answer the question.
Hold on, Timmy. You invoke gas pressure gradients.
The question, John.
When you forgot.
Tim, come on. Just back and forth. Come on.
Clown show,
Timmy. The question, Nathan.
He's trying to. He's trying to.
All right, let me pause.
Are you done?
Yes, he's popped himself on mute. Go ahead, John.
Timmy invoked gas pressure gradients, trying to think he was clever to wheel around the actual argument. Which comes first, Timmy? Gas pressure or gas pressure gradients?
Sorry, I've got to pull you on that, John. That's not the question he's asked. He's asking, where do you get the authority that the necessary antecedent to have gas pressure is a container? That's the question he's asking.
Yes, but I already answered that, and then he went into gas pressure gradient.
Okay, I know. Yeah, can you repeat the answer? Can you just repeat it, and then we'll move back over to Tim?
Yes. My authority is second-grade coherence, that to have a gas pressure, like a tire pressure, you actually have to have the physical tire first.
Okay, so again, you're equating gas pressure to the atmospheric pressure, and then you say a tire which has a consistent 40 psi, 30 psi, 100 psi if it's a road bike tire, say. So now we're in a gas pressure gradient. So for some reason you are equating the two, and again, this is a semantical argument with a literal definition.
No, let's not give.
Hold on, John.
So this is where John fails to actually answer a very simple question he should already have in his Rolodex of stupid shit to say to people.
I already answered it.
Hold on, John. So, Tim, he's pointing out that there are examples, a multitude thereof, of gas pressure with a container. So that's a fairly easy thing to demonstrate. So is it feasible that you could demonstrate the converse, i.e. gas pressure, without a container, beyond a fundamentalist belief about what Earth does?
Yes. Actually, you can walk outside. Like I could go to a mountain right now, and then there would actually be a different pressure gradient, say at the top of the mountain compared to where I am right now.
That's not his question.
So when you guys bring up a tire, this is again, we're talking about things that have consistent air pressure, things that have consistent.
That wasn't his question, son.
Everyone's rumpusing him. Sorry, everyone's rumpusing Tim.
Go ahead.
Don't rumpus Tim. Just get to the end.
Changed.
Hold on. Just let Tim get to the end.
Well, the question was, is this a semantical argument to begin with? And I've already demonstrated that this is just John, again, going off of definitions that he's picked up from somewhere. So he says,
all right, let's go. Let's stop this. You're not answering his question.
The thing that's pushing against the wall of its container, even though Even
Please
though many
show a
definitions
gas
say the
pressure
surface
without a container.
or the
That's the
container.
question.
Okay, so the surface,
Not your
see, this guy
friggin'
can't-
thoughts and what you
this guy
conjure about
can't
other
hear
people.
this guy.
Answer
He
the
can't
question.
talk to me. He can't talk to me.
Answer
so
the
that's
question.
obvious.
Yeah, because you're a clown.
That's actually why Slick James shut his pie hole too when I hopped on too.
Yeah,
like he did the
we
other
don't want to
night.
hear your stories, Timmy. Answer the question. Can you show us a gas pressure without a container?
Yes, you walk outside.
Now that's a fundamentalist. Hold on, John. That's your I said beyond your fundamentalist belief about what Earth does. The problem with that fundamentalist assertion is going out and experiencing gas pressure can only tell you we have something containing it, because without the container there can be no pressure. So it's not a demonstration.
So you say that.
Sorry, Tim, I was nearly there. I was nearly there, Tim.
Where are you getting
so
that
just
from?
going outside doesn't demonstrate gas pressure without a container. And you've admitted that when you say I go out and go to the top of Everest and it shows a difference in pressure.
I didn't even say Everest, but
Whatever.
the thing is this is just a definitional argument, and you guys are going to die on this hill for some reason. I really don't know why, Nathan. You need to stop with this gas pressure thing, because it is just a semantical
we're not going to stop because you're a clown.
Arguments.
Answer the question.
So you haven't answered my question, John. By what authority do
we
you go
already
around
asked
and say
you
that
a
there
question.
needs to be
Show
a
us a
container,
gas
John?
pressure without a container, Timmy clown.
Yeah, walk outside. So anyway,
that's your argument.
That's your fundamentalist belief.
Argument.
Circle Earth that we live on, guys.
Yeah,
there is no
that's a
dome.
belief.
Us.
Well, I have a question.
Wait a second.
I have a serious question.
Jerking us. His premise is
John to shut
that
his
the
pie hole
atmosphere
for a
is not
minute.
contained.
May I ask a question? May I ask a question?
Up. You're not answering the question. What you're doing is circle jerking us. You're saying your premise is, your claim is, Timmy clown, that the atmosphere does not need to be contained. And your proof that the atmosphere does not need to be contained is you walk outside. You are
gas pressure is contained,
jerking
actually.
nutcase.
The atmospheric pressure is contained by gravity, which you deny as well. So
gravity.
This is just a confliction of terms here, John. You have a fundy Christian belief, and I don't.
You have a fundy belief. You're fundy materialist, Timmy. You can't even explain the word God in your fairy tale worldview in word or thought. So you're the fundy. So you said gravity, right? You said gravity.
Okay, no worries, no worries. Hold on. Let's just take some charge. Bear with me, everyone. Bear with me. No problem. So, Tim, you're saying that gravity can give you the answer, and therefore, presumably, you can demonstrate gas pressure without a container by way of gravity. Beyond your fundamentalist belief that you're trying to prove about the sky vacuum.
Is that a question or a statement?
Yes. Can you demonstrate gas pressure without a container by way of gravity?
I've already. Well, yeah. You walk outside, actually.
Yeah, I said beyond your fundamentalist belief about what Earth does.
Okay, so you guys have a fundamentalist belief about definitions, about gas pressure, and therefore there's some kind of a dome because God made us and all this bullshit.
No.
So anyway, the thing is here, guys, is that
that's
you guys
just wrong.
Go ahead.
Well, that's just wrong. I've not made that assertion. You're saying the sky's a vacuum, and John and me would assert that that's a second law. Right, so you don't think the sky's... You don't think there's a vacuum?
I haven't said that, so let's just not strawman me here. But I will say that as you go higher, say 50,000, 80,000 feet, a lot of the atmosphere is gone, and then you continue to go higher. Well, hey, if there's going to be less and less pressure, guys, so yeah.
Now, where'd you get gas pressure without a container?
Yeah, where did you get the gas pressure?
Where did you get that I need to have a container for gas pressure was the original question.
Yes, it's the necessary antecedent. Without the container, there can be no pressure.
Who's saying that? I understand that you
said who said that? Oh, Conspiracy Cats. He's a teacher.
Okay,
he said
I don't care about
I'll quote him.
Cats.
Without the container, there can be no pressure. Conspiracy Cats, 2019. Hey. He's actually on your side.
Okay, so tell me why you say that that's a necessary antecedent. Why do you say that? What proof do you have of that?
Every single gas pressure demonstration ever will require a container. Now, unless you can demonstrate the contrary, I hadn't finished quite, Tim. You asked me, and now I'm telling you, every single demonstration ever of gas pressure will have the necessary antecedent of a container. Always,
You're
without
begging the question
exception.
there, though.
Now, the
You're begging
only
the question.
assertion that it doesn't occur is when a fundamentalist declares that the sky is a vacuum, therefore we don't need a container because Earth's an open system.
Okay, so you're begging the question there. So again, by what
No, he's not begging the question.
authority? What authority are you to say that gas pressure requires the necessary antecedent?
Okay,
what
All right,
authority?
I
What
got
are
the
you guys- what are
authority.
you guys
I got
saying?
the authority. I got it. Kinetic molecular theory explanation of Boyle's gas law. Observations about pressure may be explained using the following ideas. The rapid motion and collisions of molecules with the walls of the container causes pressure. That's our authority. Go.
Great. So what does that source say about the shape of the Earth, or anything else that you say about creationism
Red herring
or
fallacy.
anything?
You're
So
just
you're
dodging
actually
the actual
cherry
question
picking.
that you asked.
Does it say
Again,
I already gave you. There's our authority. What
There you go.
causes
may
pressure?
explain?
The rapid motion and collision of molecules with the walls of the container causes pressure. We're not
Does it
looking
say
for what
maybe?
they believe, what their favorite color is. You asked for the authority. I just gave it to you.
Have I heard may be explained? May be explained?
Boyle's law. There you go.
Yeah, but does it say may be explained?
Sorry.
Or does it say is only explained?
Every
That's
demonstration ever will have the necessary antecedent of a container. Now, if
John.
you are to assert that there is a defiance of that in a region no one goes to, the space you claim there is, in the open system you claim there is, in spite of that being a violation of the second law of thermodynamics, then you must first demonstrate how you, the one with a fundy belief in a sky vacuum, can have gas pressure without a container, because I can demonstrate it with really easily.
That's all right. That's all right. We live in a container, but John, does it say may be explained, or does it say is only
Yes,
explained?
that's right. And he did. The rapid motion and collisions of molecules with the walls of the container causes pressure. That's established.
Yeah. That's all.
Also,
Can
PV
you
equal
go to the first
nRT.
part?
You
Go to
can't
the first
have
part.
volume in the
Okay, go to the first
equation
part.
without a
Go ahead.
container.
Go to the first part.
part again, please.
Read the
Go ahead
first
and read
part.
the first part. Yeah.
Oh my God. We got
No, go
shit-ass
ahead.
lawyers on the panel.
No,
Right?
go ahead. Since you're cherry picking here, go ahead and read the
They're
full
cherry
thing.
picking.
Go ahead.
What's cherry picking?
Go ahead.
Go read
Read
where
the full
they
thing.
may-
Don't change the subject. Read the
No,
full
you
thing
call
for
you
us.
charged me with cherry picking. What is cherry
Read
picking,
the
Timmy
full
Clown?
thing for us, Johnny boy.
You
Let's
charged me with cherry picking,
go.
Clown
Let's go,
Joe.
Johnny
What's
boy.
cherry picking?
Johnny,
I
What's
have a
cherry-
whole video
You're a
of you
bank
cherry
robber.
picking, actually.
He's a bank robber.
Tell us, please.
You're a bank
Tell us the
robber,
first part.
Timmy.
Please, Johnny.
Why am I answering?
Hello.
I don't have to speak to a bank robber.
Why does Ranty keep
Johnny?
saying this? Ranty, just come on voice. Or who is this Slick that keeps saying this? You're embarrassing yourself. Are you kidding me? On a flat
Yeah,
out
you
channel
are.
that
You're a
continues
clown.
to say this stupid shit every single day. I'm embarrassing myself.
Yeah,
So
you are.
anyway,
You do.
John,
You have been
go
for 3
ahead
years.
and read that whole thing there, buddy.
Yeah, I
Please,
did,
please tell us the
buddy.
first part. Please. I
I
want to
did
hear
the
it again.
first part.
Yeah, what was that again,
Want to hear it
John?
again?
What was that again? How
Yeah,
do
read
you
the first
have
part, John.
gas pressure without a container, Timmy?
John,
You
read the
need to
first
show
part.
us gas pressure without a container, son.
The whole thing, John. Please, please. I want to hear it. Please. I would even. I would go to you and I would throw
This is how
a
intellectually dishonest John is, by the way, guys.
ball of gold at you in order for you to read it again. Please. Read the first part.
Gas pressure without a container.
So, John, can you read the
Hey,
first
Timmy, let me
section
tell you.
of the citation that you just brought up for Boyle's law? Can you just read it again,
Yeah.
and then I'll round out
You
the
want
live
me to
show?
read it? You want me to read it again?
Yeah, then I'll round out the live show.
Okay. Kinetic molecular theory explanation of Boyle's gas law. Observations about pressure may be explained using the following ideas. The rapid motion and collisions of molecules with the walls of the container causes pressure, force on a unit area. Pressure is proportional to the number of molecular collisions and the force of the collisions in a particular area. The more collisions of gas molecules with the walls, the higher the pressure.
And with that, I'll say if you're watching this on the Nathan Oakley 1980 premiering stream, then stay tuned as there will be an extended after show to follow. However, if you're watching this live on the Nathan Oakley channel, unfortunately, this is where we bid you farewell. If you need something to keep you occupied after the live stream is over, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. Massive thanks to all who hit the super chat. Be sure to like, comment, share and subscribe. I've been Nathan Oakley and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!